Hi. I just wanted to come on because I want to share my journal that I do. And so a few nights ago, I had a dream that um, um, there was a pastor on stage. I forget the pastor's name, but I think he was someone like a televangelist or like someone like that's pretty popular. Um, and then there was two other pastors that were there attending, and so they were in the audience, but it seemed like they were up front, and they were arguing with the pastor who was up on stage. And the pastors that were down in the audience was Kenneth Copeland and John Hagee. Am I saying his name right? John Hagee. Which both of those pastors are very, I guess like what is Copeland is like maybe like word of faith and I think into the supernatural as far as I know, like healings and things like that. And then John Hagee, I feel like he's like a fire and brimstone pastor. I mean, these are just my impressions. I don't really follow them that much, so I don't know as much, but that's just my impressions that I have. So anyhow, they were arguing with their doctrinal differences and then arguing also with the pastor on stage, saying like, no, that's wrong, that's whatever. So it just turned into a fight. But anyway, so then the next day, like I don't know, I was just thinking, and I spend time with the Lord in the morning, and these thoughts just like kind of bubbled up in me, and so I wanted to share, and I feel like it has something to do with the dream, so that's why I'm putting them together, but the dream is kind of separate, but I feel like you guys can tell me if you think it has to do with the dream. Anyhow, so those are my notes. I just wanted to show you because it was kind of cool. Like, so I'll show you again. But like for right now, I just wrote like comparing the tree of knowledge with the tree of life, from the Garden of Eden. Of course, the tree of knowledge of good and evil was the one that Adam and Eve weren't supposed to eat from, but they did. And basically, I just wrote down like, these are my ideas. I'm not saying everything is like right, but anyway, this is what I'm thinking about. So when you think of the tree of knowledge, so it opened up their eyes to see, like between like black and white, like whether it's good or bad, whether it's right or wrong, you know what I mean? So back to that dream is like, fighting, whether, one denomination is right versus another denomination. And anyway, or it could be like just in like family dynamics, where you're like, people are fighting, saying, no, this is the right way to cook a certain meal or something, or not. But I know what the better examples I have for this is like, okay, like who's gonna be president, Trump or Kamala? Like which one? And like you can get really caught up, and I understand, like, because I feel like I've lived there a lot of my life, is like just like really hopping on that and like really being passionate about like who you think should win, and just having those really, really, really strong emotions, and really, I don't know, it's like not that it's wrong really, but I feel like there's a better way. So hear me out here. So anyway, I feel like this like tends to lead to like gossip and anxiety, because you're just so like thinking your way is the right way. Like Trump should be president, you know what I mean? And there's no doubt in your mind, and you just know it, and like it's just, I don't know. Anyway, I feel like that comes out from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So I think there's a better way to live, and that way is the tree of life. And I'm going back to the tree of knowledge of good and evil. I feel like that's like your ego, your mind is trying to figure out everything. And so if you're living in your ego and your mind, and you're going to figure out what's right, what's wrong, and all that stuff. And then, or you can live over in the tree of life and live out of the spirit, out of your true identity, what's inside. And there's a lot less fighting in that. So, for sure. So you'll have the things like peace, holding things loosely, like maybe Trump, like I think Trump should be president. I mean, that is my opinion, but I'm going to hold that loosely because you know what, like maybe there's something I don't understand, or there's another perspective of it that I don't understand. So anyway, so it's okay to not know who's right and who's wrong all the time, like to be content in that. Like I feel like that's been such a burden for me in my life, to like just try to figure out like have these like ideas in my head, and thinking like just getting really caught up in that, like who's right, who's wrong, and then getting really confused because like that confusion comes in, you think you're right, and then the confusion comes in, and then you're like, oh my gosh, maybe I'm not right. And excuse me. And then what are you going to do then? Like, and so it just creates turmoil inside of yourself. So, so also the tree of life is play and fun and being in the moment, like just being in the present moment, like the here, the now, breathing in, breathing out, just being like just at total bliss in God, like just like, just sensing his presence and just being happy. And I just like feel like I wrote down on the bottom, like that's like awakening, and I feel like that's what our world is like crying out for. Like we're all crying out for like this awakening where we can live over in that tree of life, in that true sense, where we can meditate and we can soak in the Lord's presence and just be loved by him and be like a kid again, just with no cares and worries. And for some of us, we have to go really far back, but you all know that even if it wasn't all carefree when you were a kid, I'm sure like you can remember like those moments of carefreeness, where it was just like you were caught up in play, So, so that's my thoughts for right now. But let me show you this again because, okay, so for the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, I don't know if you can see that. But like I put 2 lines there because it's always a battle. Oh, sorry. Because it's always a battle between right and wrong. So it's like you're always like kind of in this confusion. What's right? What's wrong? Da, 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 da. And then the tree of life is the other line, and there's just only one line there because it's just peaceful, and it's just there's no battle going on there in your mind. It's just when you're at rest with the Lord, and you're just like hearing from Him, and you're trusting in Him, and you're journaling, and you're just at peace. So well, blessings everyone. I hope this helped, and I would love to see your comments because I would love to hear what you guys think about this and help me understand too. So, okay. Have a great night.